I also had a bit of apprehension about coming to speak at public forums such as this, because sometimes it doesn't matter what we say about the problems or the truthfulness of solutions we try to proffer as ways to reconfigure the economy for the benefit of all. Sometimes misinterpretation and sensationalism become the aftermath of the speech more than the substance. And I'm sure we all agree I've had my fair share of controversy. These misrepresentations sometimes make discourse a matter of controversy rather than about solutions. However, honor begets honor, and I regard your invitation, Your Excellency, as an absolute honor, and that is why I'm here. Also, honoring River State is for me honoring one of my best friends, Herbert Wigwe. And this is another way of paying my respect to him, and today of all days I wish he were here with me. At this moment in our history, when the country is desperate to chart a new course in economic thinking, opting for a paradigm shift that seeks to harness our vast potential and propel us towards sustainable growth and prosperity. The decision to center governance around economic development through investment promotion is a very thoughtful and brave decision by the government of River State. This is more so because the reform of an economy, whether of a state or of the federation at large, requires difficult decisions. It involves policies that may be painful and unpopular, which don't usually go down well with politicians who need re-election. But that is the only way to guarantee a better future for the same people that might be hard on. And at this point, it's important for us as Nigerians to be realistic. The mismanagement of the last 10 years will not be undone in 6 months or 1 year. And we need to understand that some of the difficult decisions that are taken will take time to work through the economy. It will take a little while for us to see a turnaround, but those decisions are absolutely necessary in order to save the economy. We always knew we would have to go through this process if we did not change course. And we have seen this movie, seen it in Zimbabwe, seen it in Venezuela, we've seen it in Argentina, and it is a movie we do not want to be a part of. And I do hope that we'll make this transition a short one and go back to economic growth. But it is the right thing to do. As the second largest economy in Nigeria after Lagos, River State has a unique opportunity to emerge as a beacon of progress in the face of hopelessness. It has the opportunity to operationalize the ideals of the concept of subnationalism in a federal context by building a resilient, dynamic, modern, and effective system that fosters economic development and prosperity. With rich arable land, abundant oil and water resources, as well as strategic location of the state, rivers can be one of the best investors' paradises, not just in Nigeria, but in West Africa. If the right things can be done. The recent boom in mechanized agriculture, international trade, transportation, tourism, real estate, and ICT that are being witnessed in this state are evidence that development is not too lofty a dream to achieve, and they're a testament that Rivers is ripe for investment and growth. But while organic factors may induce the emergence and unfolding of a certain level of growth in various sectors of an economy, sustainable development is a result of deep thinking, deliberate and strategic actions, as well as the political will to perform and achieve. River State is blessed with abundant oil resources, a gift that has significantly contributed to the economy of Nigeria as a whole. However, sitting on oil or any natural resource is not enough for economic development. I have said over and over again that if we were to dig out all the oil that is under Nigeria's soil today and sell it and share the money among all Nigerians, we would at best be a lower middle income country. So oil is a resource, but it's not enough to make us a wealthy country. To achieve development, it is imperative that we recognize the need to take specific steps that transcend natural resources, to diversify and institutionalize foundational economic frameworks, to fully reap the blessings of oil itself, chiefly because it is not wholly controlled by the state. There's a need to consider its viability and risks. To ensure a prosperous future, we must embrace innovation and reforms to make the state attractive for investment and capable of realistic growth. In other words, it is the capacity of state institutions to ensure quality in thinking and skills of the population that will be critical to the delivery of results. Japan and Singapore do not have any mineral resources. Neither do Germany, Switzerland, Australia, or Rwanda, to give a few examples. By no means, however, would anyone compare the standard of living, life expectancy, or any other development benchmark in these countries with most of the countries with plentiful mineral resources such as Nigeria. Again, despite having abundance of mineral resources, countries like Russia, the UAE, we just listened to Stella, Norway, etc., have developed not only by those resources given to them by nature or providence, but by successful and a deliberate vision to diversify through the quality of their governance, institutions, and people. Resources can be a blessing, and resources can be a curse. The choice is left to the leaders. And it is a choice. You know, we always talk about this resource curse. Oil is not a curse. The curse is the leaders that we had. So it's the choice that you make. You can either turn this into a blessing or turn it into a curse. Human capital and good governance are why countries that are complex in their characteristics, such as India, Brazil, China, and the US, have developed through innovation, intellectual property, education, and strong public institutions. If we're serious about development, we have to stop expecting oil to do everything for us. Everyone in Nigeria now talks about investment, infrastructure, and development. But few actually consider that no investors would simply deploy resources in the name of investment unless they see that the environment is prepared to accommodate their business, make it prosper, and protect it. Capitalism does not flourish and create wealth for everyone by the number of bridges and office edifices a government builds, but by strong fiscal and trade institutions that create a level playing field and incentives to ease business. Your roads and bridges will eventually decay, and you'll have to either borrow or build new ones or become helpless. With an easy business environment and a skilled population, economies have transformed and grown to mega cities. It is therefore not enough for us to want to bring investors or achieve economic development in River State. We have to lay some foundation for the economy to stand on. What kind of state does His Excellency want to lead after his tenure as governor? A FAC allocation and 13% derivative state, or a commercial and industrial hub in which all citizens live a decent life? For this, We must put stress on human capital and design education and skills training that are fit for this century, such that IOCs, for example, don't have to bring expatriates to work on their offshore and onshore sites. The state education system should create a skilled population that is fit for the labor requirements of any investor to safeguard the employment of your citizens. The standard of a public service means that it has to be able to implement investor-friendly policies that would attract and regulate these investments. The judiciary must be independent, and judges must be seen to rise above any suspicion of corruption. The laws should be such as to protect investments, and our taxation system, while it's necessary for fiscal strength of the government, should not be an extortionary system. I recently saw an old video of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher saying that no country has ever taxed its way to prosperity. Tax is important. Broadening the tax base is important. Having the tax net is important, but taxes must be streamlined, they must be sensible, and we must tax growth and not income. So what are the recommendations, a few that I would like to make to prepare the ground for investments? First is on human capital development and the state manpower policy. The key to economic development is human capital. Investing in the people is paramount. Rivers State needs robust education and skills training programs that essentially aim to prepare its youth to be the future workforce. I was speaking to the governor today and telling him I'm sure he has, as I do and as all of us have, hundreds of CVs of young people who have first-class degrees and don't have jobs. And unfortunately, they cannot do anything if they don't get a formal job because they have not been equipped with the right skills for this economy. The state needs a robust education and skills training program that essentially aims to prepare its youth to be the future workforce. First, it needs to design a comprehensive manpower policy based on the state's vision for development. Reform the primary and secondary schools, colleges, polytechnics, and universities to become real incubation centers that produce engineers, technicians, and artisans that will provide an efficient workforce for the numerous IOCs in River State, and to produce and retain medical doctors to provide world-class healthcare for residents in the state so that no one has to travel abroad for treatment. You need innovators and entrepreneurs that will supply services across all value chains and industries. And it is important to raise the quality of the schools by investing in teaching capacity, learning tools, and pedagogy that will nurture a culture of creativity and problem solving. It is critically important to invest in vocational training and apprenticeship to close the education gap, aligning with the needs of our economy. The second issue is institutional reform. We need to foster a business-friendly environment. Alongside equipping the population with skills through education, the state must streamline government processes to reduce red tape by instituting transparent and accountable governance structures that are crucial for building confidence and ensuring effective service delivery. In this digital age, leveraging technology is essential. Implementing e-government services and digital payment systems can streamline operations and enhance transparency. Building a robust IT infrastructure will support businesses and spur innovation in these days of artificial intelligence, making River State a hub for technological advancement in regulatory and fiscal responsibility. The third is the legal and judicial system. An efficient legal and judicial system is vital for economic growth. Enhancing the system's efficiency and effectiveness can be achieved through ADR and multi-door houses, expeditious and equitable dispensation of justice, and law reforms a productive criminal justice scheme that promotes obedience to law and order will make Rivers a stable business environment. Rivers State should commit to building and strengthening institutions that will promote prosperity. It should set up agencies for geographic information services, promoting residency rights and investment opportunities, quality assurance in the management of data and statistics to monitor performance. Monitoring performance in such critical areas as urban and rural development and delivery of essential services is important. These will automatically boost Rivers' reputation and engender public trust and attract and facilitate investment. These are incentives and support for investors that will make Rivers State a preferred destination for business ventures. 4. Strategic infrastructure. It has almost become a cliche that infrastructure is the backbone of economic development. But what type of infrastructure? As much as roads and bridges are important for ease of movement of goods and services, they must not be made in isolation from other imperatives. You know, in this country, we hear ministers of work say, oh, we built so many thousand kilometers of road. But 10,000 kilometers of road from where to where? And that is the key. Farmers can still not get their goods to the market. Cities are not linked to each other. The hinterland is not linked to the coast. Until we begin to think strategically about infrastructure, just building infrastructure in itself does not bring development. We must invest in renewable energy and more power generation, for instance. And this ensures sustainable and reliable energy sources, driving industrial growth, especially with the current Electricity Act that empowers states to generate and distribute electricity. Economic zones and industrial estates are the new best practices for competitive development. But of utmost importance for states like Rivers, due to their natural geography, is the need to concern themselves with environmental protection infrastructure for clean water, waste disposal, and pollution control due to issues of oil spillage, industrial pollution, and other climate hazards. Rivers must invest in strategic transportation systems that include metro rail lines, water transportation, ports, and cargo airports, which will facilitate trade and mobility. In conclusion, the path to prosperity for Rivers State lies in the collective effort and collaboration of its people. The state must embrace innovation and reform, diversifying its economy and strengthening its institutions. Doing this will unlock the full potential of the state, ensuring sustainable growth and a prosperous future for all. The state should seize this moment with determination and vision, driving forward the innovative pathways that will secure a place as a thriving, dynamic state. Before I end this note, it is important to emphasize the need for the state to stretch a hand of friendship to other states in the South-South geopolitical zone, with whom it shares opportunities in all resources, but also in ecological and security challenges linked to these opportunities. This requires a concerted effort to support NDDC to fulfill its mandate of accelerating development of the Niger Delta region. Only meaningful development creates the opportunities for young people to earn a decent living, and that is the only thing that will guarantee peace in a volatile environment. I would like to thank, in conclusion, Your Excellency once more for this invitation, and also thank all of you for listening to me, and thank Bashir Ibrahim Hassan, who did all the running around to make sure that he brought me here on time. And I wish you successful deliberations and good luck as you try to build a new River State.
Thank you very much. I think that keynote speech deserves a standing ovation.